Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the most offensive podcast ever. I'm Slimmy V, and today I am going to be talking about leadership. And what am I going to say about it? It's taught. Leadership is a learned characteristic. You've heard the phrase natural born leader. In my opinion, I get it, right? Someone that kind of copies a person to become a leader early on in life. But leadership is taught. Following, being a follower, or dependent on other people is natural. That's something you are born doing. You're born following, you're born dependent on other people. Now, let me put it in perspective. When you are conceived, you are in your mother's womb, correct? The umbilical cord is attached to you. You depend on your mother. Okay, I'm not gonna say you depend on the birthing person, right? And I like to, throw that in there sometimes. But the umbilical cord allows the mother to kind of nurture you. That's where you get your vitamins, your minerals, your nutrients, your life, basically, your blood, right? So we are natural followers. We're naturally dependent on other people. Now you have to be taught to be independent. If you are a male, okay, and you are not there, how do you teach your sons or daughter to be a leader? How do you teach your son as a father, okay, to treat a woman or to be treated by a man? How do you teach that? How do you become a leader? Most of the reasons why you see a lot of people following is because they don't have people that lead or that teach them how to lead. Because at some point, like when the mother gives birth, the child is born, you automatically got to cut the cord. That's in a way saying, look, you don't need this anymore. Whatever you was receiving from this, you got it. So the umbilical cord is cut at birth, signifying the beginning of independency, right? But of course, throughout life, you are dependent up until you become an adult. But what have you learned? If you are a man, if you are a black boy growing up, what have you learned? If 67%, right, of black fathers are not in the household. So if you are a black boy, son growing up, who are you learning from? You're mostly learning from the streets. You're mostly learning from friends that you are around. You're not learning from your daddy. Your daddy, possibly in jail, dead, or serving, right? Or they're somewhere else. So leadership is taught, which is a good thing, that when a man meets a woman, to make sure that if you're having a child with this person, that you are there with this person to raise the child. Because leadership is taught. It's a learned behavior. You automatically are a follower. Okay? But leadership is something that's taught. And we yearn for that. Okay? We yearn to be a leadership. We yearn for, like, I wonder what it's like to do this on my own. But at first, of course, you're holding on to your mother's hand or your daddy's hand as you start to walk. But at some point, you want to do it on yourself. You see the bed rails, you see the walls, you start holding on to the walls as you start walking. Because now you don't want your parents' help anymore. It's the same thing. When you get older and you start to display certain characteristics, like, I want my own phone. I want to pay my own bills. I want credit card. I want to move out. I want my own wife, or if you're a daughter, my own husband, right? So you start to display, because naturally this is what happened, but you need to be taught. So if you are a woman and you want a husband, how do you know what it's like if your father was not there to treat your mother? Or how do you know what it's like to be treated by a man? Right? So leadership is taught. And you need both parents in the household. You know? And I'm looking at the men because most of the time, the women are stuck with the baby, right? Men, they sling it and they bounce, right? So leadership is taught. It's a learned behavior. You don't automatically come out of the womb knowing how to be a leader. You can try, but you're going to fail. You need others who have done it before in order for you to succeed as a leader. And most of our black people, okay, we could be better leaders. But in order to be better leaders, you need to have a household that consists of a man and a woman raising their children. Okay? So you need that. So with BLM talking about deconstruction the whole family and just breaking that down or not really needing it, that's a whole bunch of baloney. You need it. Okay? Now, I haven't spoken to you like this in a while. Just came to my head and I thought I would share it. I'm not an expert, not a therapist or a psychologist. Probably play one on YouTube. But I play by common sense. And my common sense tells me that in order to be a leader, you need a mother and a father in a household. A good mother and a good father. I know what some people are going to say, yeah, what about the abuse we get from daddy and mommy, right? So, a good mother and a good father. Don't have to be perfect. Okay? So, that's all I've got to say. I got nothing else to say about that. Please add whatever you need to add. You know, if you like what I said so far, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, comment below. Please add some stuff. Leadership is taught. Do you agree? Yes or no? Why? Okay. If you're not offended, you probably wasn't watching or listening. I'm Slimmy V, and this is the most offensive podcast ever. God bless, stress less, and let Yahweh give you rest. I'm out. Peace.